who wants her children to have a fair chance at making their own decisions, while you and your I want to be a husband convince your child that they need to get the whole trans thing going on now so they can get a Disney contract. And we all know what Disney does to children. Imagine what they do to trans kids. Guess it just moved over to the Wade house.
Energy transfers.
And I'm not saying that because of their trans daughter. I'm saying that because of the artist that I just spoke to not that long ago that got invited to a party at their house. Everything was cool up front till they went to the back and there was a bunch of old fucking niggas and fucking young boys back there, all ass naked in the Wade house. So I find it funny that Gabrielle's sitting there talking shit about Boosie.
All the drama inside Dwayne Wade's house is popping off yet again. And due to Jaguar, it's messy as F. Jaguar just shared some surprising discoveries about how he's been manipulating their trans daughter Z. Let me tell you, this tea is colding hot. You won't believe the wild and downright horrible stuff that's supposedly happening in the Wade home. It's a hot mess. Express Jaguar also claims that she's got some real evidence to back up her claims that Gabrielle and Dwayne Wade manipulated their daughter Z into transitioning for profit. She's calling out Gabrielle for playing mind games with Z and keeping her away from her real mom.
During or after, the lawsuit was about her having a negative effect on my children. That's what that lawsuit was about. And when her behavior and the things she did and said began to affect my sons, that's when I opened my mouth and did something about it.
It's been a minute since we talked about Dwayne Wade, but thanks to Jaguar Wright, fans are now giving Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle the side eye for how they have supposedly treated their trans daughter Z behind the scenes. This isn't the first time Jaguar Wright has called Wayne and Gabrielle out. A couple of months ago, she called them out for being the new Will and Jay Smith taking over as Hollywood's weirdest couple.
It just moved over to the Wade house because of their trans daughter. I'm saying that because of the artist that I just spoke to not that long ago that got invited to a party at their house. Everything was cool up front till they went to the back and there was a bunch of old fucking niggas and fucking young boys back there, all ass naked in the Wade house. So I find it funny that Gabrielle's sitting there talking shit about Boosie.
And according to Jaguar, Gabrielle and Dwayne are doing this because their marriage is on the rocks. They're reportedly using Zaya Wade as a distraction to focus on something other than their shaky marriage. The streets have been buzzing about their divorce for a hot minute, with everyone asking what went wrong and are they really broken up? Well, the tea is finally being spilled. Insiders are now saying the marriage hit the rocks because Dwayne has supposedly been swinging both ways and Gabrielle. It turns out Dwayne wasn't simply cheating on women. I bet you don't know that he goes both ways. Apparently, rumors of him being on the down low have been swirling for a while, but nobody really paid that much attention after all. He was married to Gabrielle Union and a bunch of women before her, and even when they broke up, he still got somebody else pregnant within a few months. But now it seems like these women were just beards to hide the real story. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure he cared for them in his own way. Gabrielle allegedly left him when she discovered out the man was swinging both ways. When he had the baby, he managed to convince her it was all a misunderstanding, and that he was actually great, which is why she took him back allegedly. Well, this might explain why they got married just a few months after reuniting. Some people think that Dwayne was trying to lock her down before she could change her mind again. There's even speculation that he intentionally had the baby to con fans. Have also noticed that he and Gabrielle rarely recognize their child ex-Xavier. There are a lot of things you can say about Wayne Wade, but one thing that's undeniable is that he's a great father to his other 3 kids. But Xavier, the story seems a little bit different. And before anyone jumps to conclusions about Dwayne Wade ignoring Xavier because he doesn't like Xavier's mom, let's clear that up first off. He and Xavier's mom were friends for years before she got fans are now convinced that Gabrielle had her suspicions about Dwayne. But he managed to sway her with the break baby, leading to their reconciliation. For a long time, they were seen as the epitome of black love in Hollywood because they are both incredibly successful and apparently head over heels. So what could have possibly gone wrong? As quiet as it's kept, there was a lot that could have gone wrong, like the time Gabrielle split the tea in an interview that they split.
Weird to say I'm head of household because in this household, we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts this, there's always this like gorilla on your back that it is like, you better work, bitch. You better work. Bitch, you better work. You know, you gonna sleep in? You know, somebody might not eat. Come on, you gotta work.
No roommates. Well, the situation has been rubbing people the wrong way, especially considering Dwyan makes way more money than Gabrielle does with her net worth around $40 million. And he is at $170 million. He's more than 4 times wealthier. So the whole 50-50 split thing seems a little bit off, right? Even when you're rich, in all fairness, it appears that he should be contributing way more given the income gap. But it gets even stranger. Dwyan revealed in an interview that Gabrielle was the one who genuinely wanted to push for this equal share, and that during a heated disagreement, Dwyan made a remark that didn't sit right with her, prompting her to insist on this arrangement.
We decided together, because I think I said one time when we was in Miami, I said something about it being my house that I paid for. My wife looked at me, she was like, you will never say that to me again when it's something that we share. And so my wife was like, that when we moved to LA, I got half on it. You will never say my house again. Wow.
You all know how. I said that the fans believed that he had a B to convince her that he wasn't okay. Well, it turns out that Gabrielle still had her doubts because she went to great lengths to make sure that her money wasn't tied with his for the first couple of years in their marriage. In an interview, it's the wave of your future. Gabrielle, if this split is real, seems like preamps are always the smart move. But it's not what Gabrielle said, but how she said it that caught everyone's attention. People found it a bit strange, but that was nothing compared to the bombshell Jaguar Wright dropped when she spilled some serious tea about Dwyan being on the down low and having secret gay pool parties at his home.
But to the Wade house.
Energy transfers.
And I'm not saying that because of their trans daughter. I'm saying that because of the artist that I just spoke to not that long ago that got invited to a party at their house. Everything was cool up front till they went to the back and there was a bunch of old fucking niggas and fucking young boys back there, all ass naked in the Wade house. So I find it funny that Gabrielle's sitting there talking shit about Boosie.
No next to me. You can always count on Jaguar Wright to spill the tea. Her story convinced fans even more that Dwyan was on the DL, adding fuel to the fire. And then gossip blog Dewey spilled some more tea that Dwyan was caught with another woman. And Gabrielle was so hurt that she decided to pull the plug on the marriage. But you all hold on, it gets even crazier. Turns out the woman Dwyan was spotted with was actually a male crossdresser. An insider revealed that Gabrielle this explains why they are going over and beyond with Z, because Dwyan is allegedly living out his fantasies through her. But I find it very interesting that she brought up Dwyan's transgender daughter Zaya Wade, because Dwyan has been getting dragged by his ex-wife Siobhan Funds Wade, who is Zaya Wade's mother these past few years. Javon has had a nasty fight with Dwyan, accusing him of manipulating Zaya Wade and exploiting her for his selfish game. Siobhan and Dwyan split in 2007 and had 2 children together, Zier and Zaya Wade. Their divorce was finished in 2011, and it was so tumultuous and drama-filled that they still haven't gotten over their resentment, even after 12 years. In fact, their hatred appears to have just worsened now. Zaya Wade was designated male at birth and was initially named Zion Malachi Aram. Miss Wade came out to her family a few years ago and asked to be referred to as Z. She has been known as Z for so long now that many people forget that she was ever named Zion to begin with. Dwyan took things up a notch by officially filing to change Z's name from Zion to Z, even though she's been known as Z for ages now. The name Zion is still filled out on all her official papers and paperwork, and her gender is still listed as male. Wayne decided to make it official and change her name legally to Zaya Wade Malachi, Aramis Way. When Dwyan and Siobhan split, he got full custody of both Zaya Wade and her brother Zier. That means he's got all legal authority over them, calling the shots without needing Siobhan's input. But when he went to change Zaya Wade's name, he thought it was only fair to give Javon a heads up. Well, that turned out to be a mistake, because Siobhan wasn't on board with the name change Lou. I am worried that Wade may be forcing our child to go ahead with the name and gender change in order to benefit on the cash offers that he has gotten from companies, she stated. Wade informed me that he meant to make our child very famous due to the name and gender issue, and that there would be endorsements and contracts. Associated there with Dwyan, who was present at the time, answered that various companies were interested and that Disney was the potential company now. To be fair, Siobhan made some solid points about the impact of Z's public transition. She voiced concerns about how Dwyan was handling it rightly, pointing out that there would likely be media pressure on the minor child. And you know what? That's a truth that nobody really can ignore. It's clear as day. Well, Dwyan is a big-time celebrity, which means there's already a spotlight shining bright on his family. And kids transitioning is a tough journey, even for adults who can do it in private. Now imagine being a kid like Z facing all that media attention. It's a lot to handle and can definitely take its toll. Well done. Decided to reply to Siobhan's lawsuit on social media, which is out of the norm for him. He posted a lengthy statement on Instagram. Okay, I mean, he kind of ate with that. He made a solid point about how odd it was that he got full custody, because they typically would give it to the mother. Now, I'm not saying Siobhan is a bad mom, but we gotta point out this interesting fact. But anyway, him exposing Siobhan for being a deadbeat mom, is that even a thing? Apparently it is. And I knew that this drama was going to be messy, but I didn't think it was going to get this messy. It's giving popcorn and reality TV level drama. But Siobhan wasn't about to let Dwyan have the last word, and it looks like Jaguar Wright might be on Siobhan's side because she still has.
And last time I sat on this blue couch, I had some very specific things to say about the Wade household.
Yes, you did.
What has happened since I spoke?
In my opinion, it got worse. It's a little more out of control.
They said I was jealous. They said I said everything that I said because I was jealous. Gabrielle Union. She the black Kris Jenner. She done turned her husband into a He wants to be a woman. That's why they're getting divorced. She went on Twitter cussing out Diddy and then deleted it because Diddy want to throw Dwyan a divorce freak off. Why is it a problem? He been freaking off. Why you care? You was at the freak off with it. And I'm jealous of that. I'm jealous of that. Let's be real.
Let's be real.
This knew this was a and then she pretended he wasn't. And then she pretended that she had the perfect life while she's splitting bills with a you doing the real mom who wants her children to have a fair chance at making their own decisions while you and your I want to be a husband convince your child that they need to get the whole trans thing going on now so they can get a Disney contract. And we all know what Disney does to children. Imagine what they do to trans kids.
Oh, I don't want to imagine.
That's where you want to send your child?
Oof.
But you cut the real mama out. I'm jealous of this bitch.
What are your thoughts on Jaguar's claims? Do you think she's telling the truth about Zaya Wade being misled? Or do you think she's being a freak and trying to cause trouble for Dwyan and Gabrielle? Leave your thoughts below, and then check out this following video.